Good morning, Monday, March 29th, 2021. Hope you guys off to a good start. Welcome to Morning Joey. I'm Joey Molinaro. Stacked show today. We're going to be going even longer than 10 a.m. Longer than 10 a.m. because we got to discuss IU hiring Mike Woodson. Got Tony Adragna coming from IUFilmroom.com to discuss that. Give his thoughts. What's going to happen? Is it a good hire? Is it a bad hire? Is it a stopgap hire? I don't know. I got a million freaking questions. So I want to hear from you guys as well. I want the IU folks to be able to use this, vent. Let's hear it. Let's get a pulse on what's going on because I that's the furthest person I expected. Mike Woodson. That's the furthest name that I expected to hear. That would be the new dude in charge down there in Bloomington. So we got that. So Tony Adragna from IUFilmroom.com stopping by at 9:15. Then I have KB No Swag. I talked to him for 40 minutes. The legendary KB No Swag, man. So, I talked to him for 40 minutes. A lot of fun about his come up, about what he's doing, about what quarantine and the pandemic's been like for him, living with Nick. I mean, we cover a whole bunch of things, making fun of Viners and TikTokers. So all those people out there who hate that I'm on TikTok or hate TikTok, this is a conversation for you. So I'll talk with KB. I recorded it a couple months ago, but again, it's evergreen. So we just talked and shot the shit about a lot of stuff. So great show. We'll get into the IU talk here in a second. But, of course, for those who are watching on YouTube, subscribe as always. I have all the links to merch below. So Cup of Joey Dad Hat, Cup of Joey mug, Juju One Last Ride t-shirt. It's not company time, it's tournament time. All that is below. Folks watching on Twitter, you can go click on the link and be able to get that as well. But got to start off with Chet Hanks, man. So Chet Hanks somehow is the son of Tom Hanks, the legendary actor, right? And Chet Hanks sends out a video, I think either on Friday or Saturday. It was once I was already off the air on Friday. And he's declaring that it's going to be, quote, white boy summer. A little, it seems just a little out of touch. Maybe he doesn't have his finger on the pulse of somehow he doesn't. He's living in a different world. But I he gave an update, man, and I couldn't believe what I was watching. And I got to share the screen here so you guys can get in on it with me. Let's see. I'll share it. And then Chet Hanks. Yeah. No, wait. Here we go. Share this.
What's up, loved ones? Wow. Thank you for making White Boy Summer officially a thing. I see that it's in full effect, and I love.
And to be clear, he didn't say White Boy Summer. What he said that I think in his justification or whatever, he said it's not White Boy Summer like people who watch NASCAR. So that was in the original video of what he said. This is the update.
Love to see it. It's fantastic. They've been asking me, Chet, if it's going to be a white boy summer. It sounds like you're going to need to have a black girl summer. And I said, that's every summer for me, baby. I mean, it's more of a year-round thing, to be honest. But, it goes without saying. But since so much traffic is getting drawn to my page right now, I thought I'd just plug the link in my bio, Actors Advantage, hit that shit, register for it. If you want to make a living from being an actor in film and television, it's a pretty sick job. I'm going to be dropping all the gems on that shit come April 4th. So make sure you hop on the right foot and make your next move your best move. But apart from that, everybody have a great Saturday night. Much love. Love y'all. Bye.
I mean, this is insane. That is the seed of Tom Hanks. That the most beloved actor, one of the most beloved people really in the world, it seems like, has created and raised somebody who I can't tell if he's playing a character, if he's like channeling his inner Jamie Kennedy from Malibu's Most Wanted, right? But it just doesn't seem real. Like, what are the conversations going on with Tom Hanks and his son Chet? It's like God almost overcorrect. So God, yes, Tom Hanks, and he's this, everybody's like, uncle or like dad, he's like your movie dad or uncle, I mean, he's Woody, he's fucking, all the characters that he's played, right? He's in everything. I just watched a movie with him last night, The Post. It was really good. He's in everything. And so because of that, God was like, well, now I have to overcorrect myself, and because you are so good, I have to give you Chet. But at the same time, Tom and his wife, I feel like I feel like they kind of brought it on themselves when they named him Chet. Chet Stedman is the only other Chet that I know of. Rookie of the Year. Chet Stedman? Rocket? Oh man, it has to be a character with the beard that's really, trimly shaved, and the backwards hat that is tilted like this. I mean, it has to be a character. Unbelievable, man. We'll get more into that after we talk to Coach Adragna. And you need to follow him. IU fans, college basketball fans really need to follow him at Coach Adragna, Adragna on Twitter. And before I bring him on, I mean, I'm not an IU guy. Obviously, I'm wearing my Purdue stuff today because I had to. But he's a huge IU guy, but he just gives it to you straight. He's not gonna fanboy out or be crazy. Like, he's gonna have a level head about it, and he's a really, really good follow, and he knows his shit. And you can check that out at iufilmroom.com. You can check out his work there. So let's bring him on, Coach Tony Adragna. What's up, my man? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well, Joey. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for hopping on with me. Fellow Southside Indy kid. So love to see it. What are we feeling? Monday morning, the news breaks yesterday. Mike Woodson, new head coach at IU, Thad Matta, associate AD for men's basketball. Give us kind of the pulse of what you're feeling, what IU fans are feeling this morning.
Yeah. So my initial reaction yesterday when I saw the news, I tweeted it out. Said, "Consider me underwhelmed." And that was when I just got the news of Mike Woodson being the hire. I think, as IU fans, we kind of got our hopes up, thought, hey, Brad Stevens is coming in. Like, anything that wasn't Brad Stevens was going to be underwhelming. Like, that was like, we got our bar set so high, probably never should have. There was probably a 1% chance Brad Stevens would leave a storied franchise like the Celtics to take over what has kind of been a dumpster fire of a program for a few years in IU basketball. So I was underwhelmed initially, and then I saw the Thad Matta hire. I started doing some YouTubing on Mike Woodson, and saw guys like Carmelo Anthony and JJ Redick, talking glowingly about Mike Woodson. And then, Raymond Felton has an entire 5-minute spiel on YouTube where he's talking about how Mike Woodson, should still be the head coach of the Knicks because he's the only one that's had success there in a couple of decades. And it got me feeling better about it. Then I saw the Thad Matta news. I saw a picture of Mike Woodson in the locker room. I heard him talking about how this is his dream job. There was a lot to like about that. I tweeted it out yesterday. Like, my timeline kind of progressively saw me talk myself into the hire I was
watching that live too.
So, I went from underwhelmed to I'm fighting why this was the right hire with people. So, you said I wasn't a fanboy, and I'm not gonna go crazy. I don't know how to say that. I can get a little nuts, but
well, you do a good job of not showing it on Twitter. Maybe if you're in your living room, then everybody fanboys in there. But you at least go into Twitter and you bring more of a level perspective to it. So that's appreciated, I think.
Yeah, I try to be objective when I look at these things. I made the mistake of getting on the message boards throughout this hire, and I thought Twitter could be bad. I thought it could be a little toxic. There's some crazies out there. Message board, like all day, every day type of people. That's a different style. Like guys that just live on the message boards, like those guys are deep in it. There was
do you have to go on like the dark web to find the message boards now? I mean, if you're not doing it on Twitter, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, it's crazy. But there's a lot of people that bring a lot of value or that see a lot of value in those message boards. And it's cool. Like, you're hanging out with like-minded people. It's like the Twitter before Twitter, but there's still a lot of people on those things. And there's a lot of people that have some pretty wild opinions. And I've stayed away from them for like 10 years. And this coaching search, I was like, all right, I'm going to dive back on these things. And it consumed way too much of my life. I'm happy.
Do you think Dolson? Do you think Scott Dolson, the AD, looks at those?
I would have to say he's got some type of pulse on it. I don't know that he's looking at it, but I'm sure people in his athletic department, are trying to get a pulse of where the fan base is at. But I really do think that Dolson, he didn't give a shit what people cared about this hire. I mean, I think he pretty much knew right away that, announcing Mike Woodson as the head coach would probably be met with some criticism. But I think it was a very calculated decision to break the Thad Matta news pretty much right alongside it.
Yeah.
A lot of people were like, hey, let Mike Woodson have his day. Let's announce him, let him have his day. Then you can announce Thad Matta the next day. But it's like Scott Dolson knew, like, this is going to be met with criticism. Let's kind of get the best of both worlds. Let's get this great, brilliant college basketball mind along with an IU guy with NBA experience. Let's pair them together. And by the way, we're going to announce them at the same time because we know this is going to be met with some criticism.
Why do you think it was met with such criticism? Just because he, is older, he doesn't have college head coaching experience? I mean, what's because it's an IU guy, why so much criticism?
Yeah, I mean, I think the age and not even the age as much as the no college coaching experience come from the NBA historically has not worked out as well as, you look at a Michigan and, with Juwan Howard, that's not been the norm. However, a lot of these guys have some hot takes out there on why this won't work immediately. But, IU followed the Michigan model more than they followed like the Chris Mullins St. John's model. Like, they bring in a guy like Thad Matta, Juwan Howard. They brought in Phil Martelli to be on his bench, somebody with 30 years of college basketball coaching experience. So IU is much more following that Michigan model, and quite frankly, like, it doesn't matter if it's worked or not worked elsewhere. Like, it only has to work here. Like, this, that's the only time it has to work.
So, from an outsider's perspective, like I said, I'm wearing my Purdue gear. I look at this and I feel like, okay, like you mentioned in your first tweet, underwhelming, but then also it kind of feels like a settle. It kind of feels like, well, we've exhausted a lot of options. We'll go with this guy in Woodson. Is that fair to say, or do you think that when they let Archie Miller go, that they threw up a list of 3 to 5 names and Mike Woodson was on there?
I think Brad Stevens was one. I think he was absolutely number one who they went after. Like, it would be kind of a no-brainer if you can lure somebody like that. But then after that, I do think it's like, names 2 through 5. I think Woodson was on there. The guys over at Peegs.com that do great work, they have like a hot board. And basically from 1.0 to 7.0, Mike Woodson was like 2 to 3 on there. And, they're getting that from sourced information, I would imagine. And so I knew it was a possibility. Was not my first hire or first choice, second choice, third choice. I put out my top 5 who I wanted. Mike Woodson was not on that list. So like I said, you kind of watched me talk myself into this. However, I never thought that's why I'm not an AD because I never thought in my mind of, hey, Mike Woodson paired with Thad Matta. Like, that got me a little bit excited. It's like, wow, I had Thad Matta as number 2 on my wish list to be our head coach. And now he's kind of overseeing the program, kind of as like a GM consultant role. And I went on the record multiple times and thought Archie Miller was a home run hire. Like, no way it would fail. And so obviously we saw how that worked out. You've got your Purdue gear on. Purdue literally owned Archie Miller, never beat him. And I don't think we'll ever see an IU team coached by Mike Woodson come out flat against Purdue. Like we saw with Archie Miller. Like, there's just a deep level of care there that I don't know too many other guys could have. Like, yeah, they're your rival and you want to beat him and you're fighting for recruits against them and all that good stuff. But like, Mike Woodson is going to have like a deep level of respect for the rivalry. And he's going to ensure that his team goes out there and competes, unlike we saw a lot under the Archie Miller era.
I immediately went to Dane Fife. I just figured that was just kind of the next thing. Is that why was he not brought on? Why was he maybe not considered anymore?
Yeah, I don't know. And I think there's still rumors that he might be considered for an assistant coaching position, maybe like an associate head coach, where he could kind of be the coach in waiting. And this is me speculating. If anybody's watching and thinking I'm coming from like good info, it's not. It's just me speculating. I love Dan Five. I think he's a great coach. I do wonder, what type of, if there was any conversations had with him, like, he's a guy that's done a lot of really good things in the college basketball ranks, and he would be intriguing to me. He was intriguing to me. But I get why they went with the Woodson route as well. Guy that has head coaching experience, a guy that, when you can say, hey, let me call up Mello and he'll tell you about how I coached him. Like, that holds some weight with, 16 to 17-year-olds that, ultimately very small minority of them are going to go to the NBA, but that's all their dreams and goals. And you got a guy that says, hey, I know exactly what it takes. I've coached all these superstars. I mean, I think I saw, like, between his head coaching and assistant coaching career, he's coached like 40-some all-stars or like something crazy like that. So, like, now was he the best coach in the NBA? No. But he took franchises that in the Hawks and the Knicks to the playoffs. Two franchises in the last couple decades that have really struggled to have success. So I don't think X's and O's is any sort of concern with Mike Woodson. The concerns I think the fan base has is the recruiting aspect, dealing with college kids. Like, you're having to deal with kids that have exams tomorrow, or their girlfriend broke up with them, or just things that you don't have to worry about in the NBA. But I do think those are the type of things Thad Matta was brought in for.
What is the situation with everybody? Because it seems like everybody is transferring. I mean, you got Lander in the portal, you got Armand Franklin, you got a handful of others. I haven't heard anything from Trace Jackson Davis. Do we think that with the hire of Woodson and Matta, is that leaning that there's going to be more to come back, or they're just going to start fresh and they got to go get their own guys?
Yeah, I'm interested to see that myself. Like, 6 guys in the transfer portal, which, if my kid went to IU and the coach left and the way things are going right now, I would absolutely tell him to put his name in the transfer portal. Like, there's no harm in it. You get to explore your options and you can always come back. And you don't even lose a year eligibility if you do happen to transfer, which is, a one-time thing this year. So when it comes to the transfer portal, I want to be sensitive in the way I say this, but like, there's some dudes in the transfer portal right now that I would want to put emphasis on more than some of the IU guys that are leaving. There are some really, really good players, like some program changing players in the transfer portal. And I get you want to keep your own and you want to be loyal to these guys that were loyal to the program. However, if 3 of them leave or whatever, you have a really good opportunity to replace them with guys that either have similar skill sets or maybe even better skill sets with the way the transfer portal is working out. So I'm not as concerned as a lot seem to be. at the end of the day, it was a 12-15 team last season. And I love to keep the guys around, but if they happen to leave and seek greener pastures, like, I'm okay with that too.
Who are a few of the guys that are in the transfer portal right now? Just for those who don't know, like me, not from IU, the guys you're talking about that could be a better replacement.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a couple 5-star. Forgive me, I can't remember the names. You got some 5-stars from like North Carolina. You've got a 5-star that I think went to Texas Tech that's transferring. The verbalcommits.com, they've got some everybody that's in the transfer portal, and they even rank them by like their stars coming out of high school and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Walker Kessler is the one from North Carolina, but like there are some legit players. There's a kid from Kentucky that didn't pan out there. Like, there's some legit players in that portal, and I don't know all their backgrounds, and everybody's got a story when they're transferring, but there's some certainly some skill in there.
Gotcha. That's Coach Tony Adragna. Man, I appreciate it. Thanks for waking up with me. I know, like I said, for everybody, looking for some good hoops, some good college hoops, especially IU coverage and not takes, but just opinions and thoughts. You got to follow Coach Adragna, Adragna. Rhymes with lasagna. There you go. Thanks so much, man. And hey, let's hope just for the state of Indiana in general, even that this works out. It's better when I use better. I will say that. So good luck with the Woodson hire.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on, Joey.
See you, buddy. That's Coach Tony Adragna, Southside guy. IUFilmroom.com breaks it down. He's a film guy. He's a film guy, so he knows about a lot of stuff that I don't know about, and he is way more in tune with the IU fan base and the IU basketball program than definitely me and most everybody. So again, that'll be up later on the YouTube channel, Cup of Joey, youtube.com/C/Cup of Joey. We're going to get to KB No Swag here in a second. But we got to continue to follow up on this Chet Hanks stuff. For those who just joined, Chet Hanks, look at him. Well, I mean, like, dude, he looks like a guy that is playing a dude that would be named Chet Hanks. Like, he doesn't look like a real. His look is not a real person. The backwards hat kind of guy. The goatee, like, it looks like a dude that would wear like the kind of fake Jordans and walk around at your high school. Like, he's still wearing the Letterman jacket with like the fake Jordans. And definitely like big, probably fake earrings. We all had those people, right? And what he says.
Peace. Fact. And what's up, loved ones? Wow. Thank you.
Loved ones? Like, he's trying to be endearing and he's trying to have his thing that people know, like, oh, I'm a loved one. I'm one of Chet's loved ones.
For making White Boy Summer officially a thing. I see that it's in full effect, and I love to see it. It's fantastic. They've been asking me, Chet, if it's going to be a White Boy Summer, it sounds like you're going to need to have a Black Girl Summer. And I said, that's every summer for me, baby. I mean, it's more of a...
That baby was so forced. That baby, he said at the end of that, is so forced. He thought about it and he wanted to say it, but he wasn't confident enough to say it, but he still slipped it in there.
Black Girl Summer. And I said, that's every summer for me, baby. I mean...
Oh my God, so forced when he said that. Should I do it? Should I do it? Should I do it? Should I say baby? Should I be confident? I don't know. Chet Hanks, man. Just hey, when you're born and your dad's Tom Hanks, really no limit to what you can and can't do. I mean, you can become him because your dad's Tom Hanks and nothing matters. There's a study. This shit gets me, man. Prince William apparently named the, quote, sexiest bald man, according to People magazine. And that's according to a new study. And the Duke of Cambridge beat out Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Jason Statham, and Michael Jordan. But the thing is that he's not even fully bald. Like, don't you have to be bald to win the sexiest bald man? Look. He's still got some up there. It's a little bit of grass. It's not a lot, but it's a little bit. He's not fully bald. He's got the stuff on the side of the head. Jason Statham, bald. The Rock, absolutely bald. Michael Jordan, the baldest man of all time. He's still got a little bit. It's like, people said, somebody said it's like when you drop a lollipop on the ground, and you pick it up and it's got a little bit of the carpet and some hairs that are in there on top of it. That's what Prince William's rocking. I always love too a new study about bald men. Just still at the end of the middle of a pandemic, but we got time to do studies on bald men and who's the sexiest, I guess. Could be some more important things out there, maybe. The people at the people at people.com or the science department, whoever's doing this, they're in their production meeting and they're in their meetings. All right, pandemic, it's happening. What's the latest on COVID? Okay, good. And okay, you two, once you guys do the bald study. Yeah, no, sexiest bald man. We'll do this. You take care of that. A new study. People with lab coats on and stuff and goggles studying different pictures, holding them up side by side of The Rock and Jason Statham and Michael Jordan and Prince William. Yeah, that's the good stuff right there. Look at David. The monarchy depressed in their back pocket yet again. Goofy bastard ain't even fully bald. Exactly. He's not. But again, it's not so much about him being bald or him. So that's one thing. But the other thing is just, we got so much other shit going on in the world. And then we're still, putting together these studies to find out who the sexiest bald man is. Yeah. All right. Let's get to it. The man, KB No Swag, a guy that I have found hilarious forever. Followed him long before I was with Barstool. I was like, this guy is a genius. I mean, he's incredible. So we talk about him coming up through that, how he got started, why he's not on Twitter barely anymore, why he wants to be on, why he may come back on Twitter, his thoughts on TikTok, Addison Rae. It's about a 40-minute conversation. So we get into it and just shoot the shit about a lot of different things. So yeah, we'll get right to it. My guy, the one and only KB No Swag. Coming, Joey, with the one and only KB No Swag. What's happening, my man? How are you?
Joe? Mr. Molinaro.
You were right the first time.
Hollinsworth.
Yeah, that's a common misconception. People always get the RO, but we Americanized it to be Arrow.
It was white of me to say Arrow.
No, but you're right. But I probably should go by RO because it's more Italian sounding, but I don't. Yeah. So
no, it's fine.
It's all good.
Don't.
So you're a coffee drinker then.
Don't do that. I have the hot, the cold.
Wow.
And the frozen.
Hey.
All states.
So you do all, what's your favorite?
Put the coffee ice cream into it fucking melted, but into my frozen mug.
Wow. So you get 2 frozen. Do you ever try the ice cream into the hot and I use that as like a creamer?
I do. Yeah, I do that too.
It's not bad.
No, it's all right.
Yeah. Are those cards behind you? What is that? And the plaques?
Oh, that is my roommate Chuck. He's a big sports guy. He has memorabilia. It's like Stanley Cups.
Okay.
Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year.
I didn't know KB was a sports guy. Do you have any teams at all?
KB is what?
Do you have any teams at all? Like, are you a fan of any teams?
I was born Jets, Mets, Knicks, and Devils.
Okay.
And I phased out.
So you just don't really follow anymore. You just grew out of it.
When was the last time? I think the Jets had a good run in. I was a senior in high school, so like 2010. You would know.
Yep.
Like
played the Steelers in the AFC Championship.
It was done. I grew up in Steelers country, so I just couldn't deal with it. They were always the superior team. Phased out, went to Kent State, Northeast Ohio, and kind of became a Cavs Browns guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like how you say phased out, like it's like you're like born into like a religion or like a cult.
I mean, sports fandom is like what you don't have to be a fan of that team, especially if they're bad. Like When you listen to a music, like an artist, or like if they suck, you're not going to be a fan of them, right?
Yeah.
No one is like a fan of like a band they hate. They think so. Like you don't have to be a fan of a bad team.
Right. Just because you were born in the same town that, Ramon, well, I guess they're probably overseas. I don't know. Whatever American band is, just because you're born in that town or because your dad was a big Rolling Stones fan doesn't mean that you automatically have to be.
Yeah. That's how I think that's how sports fandom. I think only the best teams should have fans.
This is what I'm talking about. A lot of people. Fandom is annoying, man. You're right. I'm thinking about phasing out myself because people take it so personally and they get so worked up about who different people root for, and they get mad at me because all my teams are.
Oh, you probably get some shit.
Which isn't true because the Steelers haven't done shit forever. The Cubs won the World Series in 2016, but they haven't done shit since. Like. I don't get all these people are always just like, oh, it must be easy to be a bandwagoner. And so I see your point. One, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to root for good teams. But two, why do you care so much?
No, the bottom line is that you should not care who other people root for.
It's a really, really weird thing, man. It is. So help me out. So you grew up in Steeler country, but you were born in the East Coast. You moved?
I was born, North Jersey. My dad's side is all from that area, and then moved immediately to West Virginia.
Okay, so
we're close to Pittsburgh, so I'm in that territory, full on.
West Virginia, man, what a state to grow up in, huh?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, terrible, right?
Well, no, I mean, it just like West Virginia to me, and being from Indiana, people probably say the same thing. I don't know. It's just such a like I have a hard time seeing people being kids there for some reason. I don't know. It's just
they're only kids there.
Yeah,
that's their life expectancy. Well, you worked in a cemetery, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, so you know how it is. That's where we would like. That was like our best hangout spot.
The cemetery.
Unironically, like that was like they had the most space and like you could run around.
I didn't really think about that, but at night, I mean, there's not going to be. At least where I worked, there wasn't like a cemetery night guard like going around. You kind of had some freedom around there, I think.
You did work at a cemetery.
Yeah.
I feel like I pulled that out of somewhere in my brain.
I was gonna say when you said that, I was like, "Damn, he must have like remembered a tweet or like."
No, I'm kidding. I was like searching your old tweets just to bring things up.
Oh,
subtly.
What else you got? I'm interested.
No, I do that to everyone. Bring up tweets from 2012, and they're like, "What? How did you know I did that?" how did you know my opinion on? I bought. You bought something from Target for $5. It was your best purchase ever.
Okay.
What was it? You did it.
No, I know.
It was a movie.
Are you quizzing me now?
Yeah.
$5 Target purchase. 2000. Can you give me the year? Was it 2012, 2013?
We did this in 2014. It's a classic movie, oftentimes ranked.
$5.
It's Goodfellas.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's one of my favorite movies for sure. I was going to say Shawshank. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
Probably because that was around the time I was like working kind of in a Shawshank environment at a cemetery a little bit. What else you got? This is
No, I only did
worrisome yet fascinating.
Yeah. So I always search cemetery, and then that came up a lot, and I was ecstatic that you worked at one. That's like my favorite place growing up. What did you do?
I was just in like landscaping. Like it was
you just trim the hedges and stuff.
Trim the hedges, mulched, cut the lawn around the headstones. I was in the process of digging a few graves. One time we had to dig up somebody who was put in the wrong gravesite.
What?
Yeah. So that really happened. So we had to not exhume the body, but the casket. And of course, why?
At what point can you just not leave it where it was?
But that was my original thought as a 19-year-old. Hey, how's anybody gonna know? So they didn't really have an answer for me. I think I can't exactly remember what happened, but yeah, we had to dig it up, take it out, put the correct one in there, and then move that over to the right spot. So
awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Did like the family come and watch? Obviously.
No, I don't think so. But you'd be surprised. Everybody always thinks like, everybody always thinks that you're just going old school and you're digging with a shovel, But they bring in a big old crane and they rip that shit out,
Oh, large machinery.
Yeah,
no manual labor.
Yeah,
that is kind of disheartening.
For the final, I know I was kind of bummed by it too. I was like, shit, I'm working at a cemetery. I thought I was just gonna be, digging graves, kind of like pulling a summer of holes here. But yeah, they use the shovels for the finer details. If you need to make a little extra space or something. But most of it, they come in, they just fucking rip the ground right there.
Oh yeah.
So did you and I can't remember. Did you and Nick grow up together in West Virginia?
We grew up in the same tiny village within the same small town of Wheeling, West Virginia. We did not we did not cross paths. We did not speak to one another. We went to the same small Catholic school and we were a grade apart and we knew of each other, but no social interactions.
Okay.
And the same high school. Yeah. Like I'm like, yeah.
At what point was the crossover where it was like, now he works for Barstool? You had to have some.
It was before that. We were both tweeting, and there's only so many people who like tweet post grad. we're like the two 25-year-olds who still tweet, like try to tweet jokes, and I was like aggressively tweeting, trying to go viral, and he was just like, he had like 50 followers, like 52 maybe, and was like super funny. So I was like jealous, but like, damn, like this guy he would tweet once a year and they would like be really funny. So then I started DMing him and having him like ghostwrite for me and like do my work for me and write all my jokes.
There you go. So Nick got you to Barstool and then got himself there.
People say I got him to Barstool. He was kind of, you could argue vice versa.
So in your blog, like in your bio, it says that you blogged and random nobody who blogged and tweeted his way to Barstool. So what, like,
it's corny.
When KB was, I don't know, 2021, What was 21-year-old KB thinking that 27-year-old KB would be doing, or 30-year-old? You know, like what was the plan? Was there a plan?
There was no. I was obsessed with Twitter since 2012. Like that was the only thing I loved, but I didn't. So I loved it so much that I didn't give a fuck about like what my major was. I just like pretty much picked out of a hat speech pathology. My cousin did it, and it was like predominantly female. And like by my senior year, I was like, I don't like this. I'm not going to do this. But I was like, fuck, I have to now. I'm like a semester away. So yeah.
So then from there, you were going to be speech pathologist, and then all of a sudden Twitter started popping off, and then.
No, I did not get into grad school, and you need a master's in speech path. So I did the lesser route, went early childhood special ed, not the lesser route, but the less requirement route.
Yeah. And
I worked for 2 years in that.
So you were helping children with special needs?
Birth to 3 at either mostly at risk. So we would like evaluate them to see like, are you at risk for like a language delay? And I did a lot of like just children who were like 2-year-olds who couldn't like say words yet, or they only had so many words.
So you're doing that by day, and then at night you were.
No, by day I was focused on Twitter.
Okay, so by day
I was living on Twitter and like and like just going through the motions on autopilot of my job.
But you kind of hate Twitter though, don't you?
Yeah, I've grown to hate it.
Okay.
I mean, at the time I hated it but loved it because I loved tweeting. I loved everything about it, but now I just kind of took a hiatus. I don't really get into it too much.
I know, man. I mean, even before I worked for Barstool, obviously followed you and you know, very funny and loved all your stuff. And then I felt like once I started working for Barstool, I don't see KB anymore. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, it is sad, isn't it? It's fine. I don't. It's not. It's just not entertaining anymore. It's more just it actually makes me mad. Like in the past, it would make me mad, but it would spark like a tweet. Like I could make fun of it and tweet. And now it's just like I just genuinely and purely like this ruins my mood.
Yeah.
So I just have like Barstool employees, my colleagues and friends, and like people I think are funny on my timeline, and I don't do any more deeper diving. Yeah,
man. I mean, I hear you. It's an odd thing. I feel like for you and I and people who we work with that, you know, it's a double-edged sword to where Twitter is where, you know,
it's important. Yeah,
how my career came to be.
You know? We're both in that boat. Yeah,
I got the Barstool. It's in your bio. You know how you and
mm-hmm.
At the same time, and now you find yourself that you're like, fuck it, I don't want to be on there. A lot of times, I mean, that goes through my head so many times, but I'm like, I mean, I have to be.
It's essential. Yeah, but like you had like a way more explosive and abrupt like meteoric rise on Twitter.
Yeah.
So like, how was that? You probably went like from like, because I was like way gradual. I was like 5,000 followers. Like slowly, I would gain them to like where. But like got like thousands, tens of thousands at a time.
Yeah. It was a lot. It was overwhelming. It was like. It was cool because, you know, I spent like 5 years in like media in Indianapolis, kind of like, you know, fucking figuring out and not knowing what to do or like if anything was ever going to work. And then all of a sudden, like you said, like it and a lot of times to, you know, outside perspective, it does seem like it was just like, bam, like overnight. Right, yeah. And in some ways it was.
Never actually overnight. Maybe like 2 people ever.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Actually had literal overnight fame.
Yeah, exactly. So, again, overwhelming, cool, all at the same time. But yeah, I mean, it's been an adjustment, just having to figure out like how to deal with people and you know, how to not like be a hothead on Twitter when people give you shit.
Yeah. Well, no one deals with people. Like no one deals with like the bullshit. Like you internalize it and let it build up, or you lash out on Twitter, and either way, it's bad. So it's gonna affect you to some degree.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's again, like I said, it's that double-edged sword that, you know, a lot of the people that we work with and you and I have dealt with, but you know, it's
I punched holes in walls over Stephen. I don't even know, like people with 2 followers saying, no, I'm kidding, but like you can have 0 followers and say something that cuts deeper than anyone else.
Yeah.
Deep.
That's why I was
They know how to get there. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, that's why I believed you. You know, I was like, okay, yeah.
I don't punch holes.
Do you know that a lot of people in the office, maybe not a lot of people I've talked to, they are kind of intimidated by you?
That's not a fair word. That implies like someone is big and mighty and violent and scary. I think they think I'm a weirdo.
No, I think that maybe they get nervous.
I think me and Nick they're always on the, they think we might be like pranking them or like involving them in a elaborate bit. We can we can strike up like the surface level like small talk, and they'll be like, wait, what are you doing, a bit?
Yeah, you keep.
I mean, I guess I asked for it, but we asked like Trent to like go to Outback with us. If you wanted to, like, we're going out to Outback. Do you want to come? And he was terrified. He was like, no. And he like went around like that was a thing. So we can even ask people to eat dinner with us.
I mean, I understand it in a way, and I've only been out in the office a couple times and gotten to interact with you guys in that way. But obviously, getting to talk like this and everything. But I honestly, right now, I don't even know if I'm a part of a bit. I don't know if this is KB's scheme to pull something over on me. No. Maybe it is. I'm sure it'll be hilarious. But I'm just, you and Nick have a special way to, a special way to make people feel, to keep them alert.
It is a blessing too, because we can just fuck up, like we can do something like on accident, and like people will be like, oh, that was part of the bit. Like I think our first podcast episode, the audio was, or one of our first videos, our audio was just awful, and we screwed something up. And people were like, oh, these guys are geniuses at their comedy. And they're just like, no, just you're a fool, and I am as well.
You set yourself up then. That's good. That's very smart of you. That's what I would say is you guys are always like 2 steps ahead of everybody else.
No, we're not.
Well, that's how you portray it.
People may have given us that handicap, but we are not. I am not in terms of mental or wit.
Right.
Never. It's a misconception.
So you're kind of up against Twitter right now. That's fair. What are your thoughts on TikTok?
TikTok, I just don't know about, and I'm curious because like just like yesterday, there's a viral TikTok of this teen girl dancing in the background of one of my old tweets. So they just like pick out tweets, and they just like stand or dance in the background of them, and that's the TikTok, and people love it.
Yeah,
now I went to the comments, like people are gonna like, are they gonna be complimenting my tweet? And they're like, no, they're just complimenting her. She was like, I don't know if it's art I can't understand or comedy I can't understand, but that TikTok I don't hate. I just think I just don't know.
Do you have any interest in getting on it?
We were talking about it. I'm not a video guy. Like it took me like a year at Barstool to even like get like be on a camera and that was unintentionally. So probably not. But I know it's big, and it's like that's the move. That's definitely the move.
Yeah, I tell you, TikTok is the first platform that I was like, fuck, like I'm kind of out of it. Like it was the first platform that I was like, realize that I'm starting to get older and like grow up, because we just hopped on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, all that shit, no problem. But TikTok, I had to really kind of like get over my like pride, and kind of just like, all right, I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna figure it out at least. So
are you on TikTok? I don't even have the app.
Yeah,
I do. I thought it was a lie, but I have it. But
so you're looking up old tweets of mine. You probably knew that I was on TikTok.
No, I actually didn't, because I don't look at TikTok. I did, unless it's narcissistically, if I'm in one of my tweets, someone sends it to me, but I actually do not look at TikTok.
See, yeah, that's what's interesting, is that, like you said, like your tweet is in the background, kind of really making the whole video. That's what's different about TikTok.
It did not. They didn't. No one even comment. I was like, let's see what people thought about my tweet, and they were just talking to her.
Yeah. But like people have made whole careers off of like literally mouthing over other people's videos, like lip syncing.
Yeah, that is like a huge that's been going on since Vine, and I've been anti that. But how do you feel as like someone who you're the opposite of that? You have to actually use your mouth.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not a fan. Just because, hey, anybody can do that.
Yeah, unless you have like a horrible defect.
This is true. Now I'm gonna upset that community.
No, I'm cool with that. I hashed it out. They gave me the green
one. But that's just what's fascinating, man. Is like these people, like the Addison Rae.
No, but like they do even less than lip syncing. Don't they just like stand and like move their body a little bit?
Yeah, they don't even really move their mouth. I think maybe they'll do like or something like that. But
yeah, that's what they just do, tongue things. They just like flex that they have tongue dexterity.
It's kind of concerning to me, because I'm like, when if I have kids someday, if you have kids someday, I'm like, what is going to be the requirement to be a public person, like a famous person?
No, I think like if you surveyed like 9-year-olds, 12, maybe 11-year-olds, like they want to be Addison Rae, and they can't even like conceptualize what she is. They just want to be whatever she is. So I guess they're like, I want to be a TikTok star when I grow up. And they're like, well, what do you want to do on TikTok? They say, I don't know.
Do the tongue.
She does like tongue things.
Yeah, that's what's funny is like when we were growing up, I felt like I wanted to be like the shortstop for the Cubs, or
even I was like shortstop for the Mets.
Exactly.
That was like that was like everyone in my class.
Right. And now our sons are gonna be like, oh, I want to be like Jacob Sartorius.
Dude, you might have a kid soon, but that might even be worse. Like, I don't know what I think the current kids are like, they want to be Jacob Sartorius or Addison Rae. And then after that, I don't know how it will devolve past whatever Addison Rae does.
Our daughters are just like,
I think it will circle back to just posting a picture.
Right. Well, yeah, but like, how are our daughters or our kids going to look at us seriously if we're like, hey, you need to like get an education, you need to go to school, you need to do this, when they're like, I can start an OnlyFans when I'm 17,
right?
And
yes,
more money.
It's like, all right, YouTube, I can become a millionaire. TikTok, OnlyFans, all of that. They're like, well, not only like they're not even gonna be like against college, they're just gonna be against doing things. Like, they're not going to do anything. They're not going to like do activities. Like, why would I leave my house, bitch, mom? Like, I can stand in front of my room and like sway my hips
and make more money than you ever did. And I'm fucking 14 years old. Yeah, it's terrifying, man. I mean, those are all things to think about, you know,
Yeah.
Especially in my situation. Like you said, like, you know, could be a dad soon, and who the hell knows what's going to be going on in
Right.
34 or
Yeah.
whatever. Do you think it's worse than Vine? Or do you not know? Because
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like trying to be a Vine star. So I was like the worst of the worst, but I remember Vine used to be good, and then like they started like profiting, and like those people started just like trying to make money, and they were horrible.
the Vine,
So I would say TikTok is better than Vine, because I've actually seen like some creative ones and it's longer form. So I don't know.
the Viner blog that you did a while back.
Oh, yeah, that was a lot of pent up rage and aggression. I think it was mostly out of jealousy that I never became a Vine star.
That is probably my favorite thing I've ever read, honestly, man.
I put a lot of mental, I don't know. It took a lot out of me.
Can you do us all a favor and repost that again so we can get that recirculating? Because
I have to read it back, see what I said, but yeah, maybe.
I mean, if anybody who hasn't read it, my man, just fucking hit the nail on the head and then some. The one dude that you kept repeating, he's 36, when he was like,
it's Curtis Lepore. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't hate any of them anymore, but now, yeah, I do. I hate him.
Yeah.
I think I just pure hate. Nothing against him. No offense to him. I just hate everything he is and everything he's ever done.
That's fair. I feel
I don't know. He may have changed his ways. Yeah.
Right. Well, he's probably like 41 by now. So
30. Yeah. I'm like approaching the age he was when I would make fun of him, which is sad.
When you're before COVID times, or even during COVID times when you're out somewhere, what's the most common thing if people come up to you? And I know they do. What's the most common thing that you get, or that people say to you, or you know, strike up a conversation?
What was it? It was unfortunately it was a lot of cocaine jokes.
Prez, yeah.
They would bring up I mean, I don't care, but that's what it was.
Okay.
No one knew me. I was an anonymous blogger, tweeter. I wasn't on any video content. And when I first did, it was the cocaine scandal in Vegas, which was just a scandal and a rumor and a controversy, but not a fact. Okay. And like Dave was tweeting it, so that's how people knew me. Like that was like that was like the peak of my popularity. It was during that. So they would do like coke puns and jokes and jokingly offer me cocaine at a bar, which was horrible. That was traumatic for me.
Yeah, sure. Never took up anybody on any of those or anything.
But no. What about? But I'm thinking about what you have to deal with, and I'm like devastated for you, because it's probably a lot of do the impression for me. Yeah, he's the impression guy. Do that. Hey, honey, he's gonna do the impression. Do you have to do that a lot?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, that's the most.
But, I mean, it's complimented. It's right. It's good, but it's probably exhausting.
It's good, you know. Every now and then I'll whip it out, but you know, sometimes it's just like I don't really want to do.
They're treating you like a puppet.
Cowherd in the middle of the bar.
No, there's some places where you probably don't want to have to whip that out. Just want to have a normal conversation.
You'll think this is like what's funny about the internet and social media is that, like, again, like we always say, the people who, like, you know, they'll never say it to your face. I've had 2 instances where somebody will come up to me and keep asking me about doing something like that, and I'll be like, I appreciate it, but just, not tonight. Like, I'm just whatever. And trying to be as kind as possible. And then, like, I'll wake up to a DM at like 3 a.m. and it's like, hey, man, you're not as cool as I thought you were. Do the impression next time. And I'm like, what the
Yeah, it's all that. Yeah, it's all over Twitter, and that's why those people don't exist in real life. He would never, like, no one ever is gonna say that to you in real life.
No, and I'm sure, like, but that's just what's so funny is I'm just like, I mean, what is going through you guys' head that you're gonna? I had one time I had somebody, they didn't even say anything to me. I don't think I was wearing an LSU like long sleeve purple shirt, and I checked the DM and it was like, that purple shirt's whack, man. I was like, what are we talking about, bro? What's the latest with the Sartorius beef, though? It's been a while.
Yeah, I think it's been a year. It has died down. I've gotten the itch to revive it. We'll see. He's 18 now.
Fair game.
I guess, like, physically, I don't think I would ever. I don't want to touch him. I don't even want to, like, he is another one. I hate him. I don't want to give him I don't want to engage with him in any way.
Do you feel like you've groomed Lil Sass in a way? Because I see Lil Sass now.
Lil Sass, Sass is his own man.
Yeah.
He was an anonymous tweeter.
Yep.
Back when I first started, like, getting bigger on Twitter, and we were, like, in group chats. I thought he was hilarious. And, like, 2 years into it, I realized this is a 15, 16-year-old boy. I had no idea. So he was starting at the same time as me. There was no grooming. If anything, it was reverse grooming.
Well, I just meant,
No, I've groomed him as well, yeah.
No, that surprised me too, dude, because I was like, yeah, because when I first came, we got hired about the same time.
That's right, yeah.
And he, when I talked to him in the office, and I asked how old he was. He said 19, and I was like, what? I was like,
he's a child.
I was like, bro, I was working at a cemetery,
Yeah.
About Goodfellas Target.
You were in the cemetery at 19.
Yeah, and you're at Barstool, fucking taking over the world, like.
Yeah, and he has in person. He has the emotional range of. He keeps it very, very low. He doesn't get it. You can't tell if he's excited or happy. He may not feel those emotions.
We don't know. King of New York, Lil Sass. All right, I want to do a little something here with you. I want to see how much. It's been a while, like you said, since you've really been on Twitter a lot. I want to play a little who tweeted it, Addison Rae or her mom, Sharon.
Oh, yeah, perfect. And I've went into Addison's Twitter, not her mother's.
Okay. So this should be.
I know the type of tweet that Addison would post. I feel like I will ace this.
Here we go. With 1,300 retweets and 26,000 likes.
Okay. Healthy amount.
Forgive how you want to be forgiven.
That sounds too lengthy to be Addison's, and like too much thought was put into that. I'm gonna go with her mom.
It is actually Addison.
Damn, she got deep for a second. She must have been on ketamine or something.
December 30th, 2020. Sending us out in the new year, getting deep.
Wait, is her mom a big tweeter or something?
Yeah, she's verified too.
Okay.
She's on TikTok as well, I think.
All right.
Yeah, no, she definitely is on TikTok. 700 retweets, 21,000 likes. CEO of being scared when people confront other people in front of me.
Okay, that format, I feel like that's been popularized by like the TikTok demographic. CEO of hangovers, of a lot of things I've heard. That has to be Addison.
You nailed it. That is Addison.
No mother should tweet that.
You'd be surprised, my man. You'd be surprised.
All right, I'm waiting for a mom one.
We'll do 5.
Right.
That's with 759 retweets, 36,000 likes. Say 3 things you love about yourself before you go to bed tonight.
Okay, that was an actual full sentence, which Addison doesn't do. That has to be Mrs. Ray.
Mrs. Ray, actually getting deep again. She's self-encouraging here.
Was that Mrs. Ray?
No, that was Addison.
What the fuck?
And then I'm looking at the replies here.
Addison is typing sentences?
I know, right?
Growing up.
Yeah.
I have one from her.
Okay.
45,000 likes. Pew, pew, pew.
Yes.
23,000 likes. E-H. That's it.
I think
74,000 likes. I'm hungry.
Hungy.
Yeah, 180,000 likes. Food ? That is what a baby or toddler would say on a dated. That's like if you transcribed a baby, like if you went to their home and like what a baby would say. That's what it was.
Hungry food.
I'm hungry. Food. My I wrote a blog about this. That's why I know. My tummy hurts. 30,000 likes.
Oh, is this the best of Addison Ray 2020?
So yeah. So
They have a podcast, you know.
I don't know, and I hate that I know that.
I'm sorry.
Now I'm gonna listen to it, and I'm gonna hate every second of that, and then it's gonna. You're getting me back.
Trying to get.
This is if you want to get me to tweet again, this is gonna do it because I'm gonna have to.
I'm just like at the bottom of the fucking ship, pouring the coal into the fucking fire to get KB no swag back.
Now I'm gonna have to listen to this podcast.
Yeah, and
God damn it!
When is you've probably gotten this a lot? Will it ever be KB swag? KB has swag?
No, and the most pathetic part is I've tried. I've tried wearing cool clothes. Like I'm currently wearing a tiger, and I tried to bust this out in public, and my friends were just like, "What? Is that a joke?" And now that I look at it, it's not cool by any means. It's almost embarrassingly bad, but
it's something that a TikToker might wear. So you're on your way.
Nah, but we have coworkers who are they're aging and they're trying to pull off Jordans on a daily basis and skinny jeans, and it just doesn't work. So swag is more of a concept. You either I could wear the coolest clothes and I would still look off.
You could wear the coolest clothes and still people would be like, "What's the prank coming?"
Yeah, so I'll never have it.
Yeah. All right, last one for you. I'm gonna pull a little Addison Ray here. Get a little deep.
Oh no.
Not deep. All right, because what are you 27 too? Or are you 28?
27.
27. All right, so we're the same age.
Yeah.
40-year-old KB. What do you want to be doing?
I don't know. I love whatever this is. So I don't know how long that can last doing this type of job with that. But I might get baby fever. Who knows?
Have a little baby KB.
Yeah, I don't know. Might fall in love.
So you haven't fallen in love. So you're on your own.
Yeah.
Single,
yeah.
Single life. Is it rough living single life during COVID time? That would be incredibly boring.
No, me and Nick went back to Wheeling and it was just us two. 3 months every day, just me and him. No, yeah, it was.
But at the same time, everybody you grew up with, kind of at this point, is on baby number 2 or 3, and
yeah, it's getting up there.
Could be worse.
I think some people in my graduating class are either grandparents or expecting grandparents.
Class of 2012, expecting the first grandbaby.
Yeah.
Wheeling, West Virginia, man.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
KB, appreciate it, man. I'm glad we got to talk a little bit, and I know that, like I said, since I haven't been in the office, we haven't gotten to chat very much, but love your work, and I appreciate the time.
Likewise, Joey, would love to have you back, either temporary or permanently, whatever it may be.
Right on. I'll talk to you.
Hell yeah. All right, man.
KB, no swag. Love him. In that Vine blog, if you haven't seen it, I'm going to text him again and see if we can get that back out or republish it or something. I mean, it's my most favorite thing that I've ever read. I mean, it's just absolutely hysterical. He just hits the nail on the head. And I've tried to bring that KB no swag internet hate back out of him because I think for a lot of us, it's therapeutic. It's fun. So went a little bit over today. That's all right. Thanks to Tony Adragna. Tony Adragna. He got all of us filled in with the latest on IU, Mike Woodson, KB no swag. Chet Hanks is a character that I want no part of. And then tomorrow, I think Benedict's going to return. I think Johnson's coming back. We're going to do the Elite Hate. The Elite Hate in honor of the Elite Eight going on today and tomorrow. So the Elite Hate will unveil a bracket either later tonight or tomorrow. So we'll have some fun with that. Got a few guests lined up later this week for hoops that are going to be great as well. So really, really excited about it. Don't forget to subscribe below. I'll catch you tomorrow live.